what sort of issues are women experiencing in their menopausal time that would bring them to you? What's going on? What does it feel like?
Yeah, it can be obviously a rocky transition for a lot of women. I'd like to think that it doesn't have to be. When women goes through menopause, obviously the hormonal system really goes through a transition, and I think, you know, if there's a lot of stress playing into that and other lifestyle factors, it makes it more dramatic and they feel it more physically. You know, the classic symptoms that we associate with menopause and we know that happen, part of it are irregular periods and, you know, things happening that way. Hot flashes, mood changes I see a lot. So it could be low mood, it could be anxiety. I've seen a lot of that recently. Sleep disruption is another big one that I see. Digestive changes, weird allergies. Like I'm talking like hives, like out of the blue, like nothing sort of happening, but it's being tipped off because of a hormonal issue. What else? I've also seen aches and pains, like joint pain, muscle pain. Overall fatigue, changes in sex drive, like a lot of different things, right? And once again, those things are all signs that physically, hormonally, there's a shift going on and our body might not have the resources to help balance that or really help keep us sort of in equilibrium. And so then you start to feel it, right? So it's about understanding why that's going on and then building a specific treatment plan that addresses it.
Do you find yourself telling many women in this early menopausal stage the same things? Or is it always quite different depending on what's going on for them?
I mean, as far as treatment goes, no, I would say it's always quite different. Recently I've seen, I've had an influx of patients around in their early 40s thinking that they're in perimenopause, which is what in the medical community is referred to as sort of like the shift into menopause, because technically menopause is going a year without any menstrual cycle.
Right.
So these women are still having periods. They're just starting to get really loopy, right? Maybe they're short, maybe they're long. You know, they're way more symptomatic. They just feel like rubbish basically when it comes around. And I can see, you know, it's about getting in touch with who that woman is. What's her lifestyle, right? What's her work? What's her family situation? I feel like it's always one of those things that energetically and emotionally and that all sort of can come to a head at this point in time for a woman. And so how you address that looks completely different, right? I like to use a lot of Chinese medicine to help with menopause because I think it can really tap into the pattern that's going on and it really lets you individualize a treatment too. So then at that point I might refer to my acupuncture colleague for treatment. I might build a plan with him, right, that involves herbs and really just looking at the combination of both. I find it really, really powerful, particularly at that point of life, the Chinese medicine. It's really amazing.
So your experience has been that you can help with a lot of these issues and help ease this transition for women?
Yeah. And I mean, that's why we do what we do, right? It's great when we get patients coming in and they feel they're meeting their goals and they feel they understand why their body is sort of speaking to them the way they are. And obviously if they feel better, that's why you do it, right? And so if I can you know, recently I've had good success with women getting their sleep back on track. That's huge. If you're not sleeping well, there's a lot of other things that start to go, right? You get that working mentally, they just feel a lot better. Their energy starts to pick up. They just feel more vital, like more like, a lot of women say like more like how I used to, right? Like it was like a big sudden shift. They sort of fell off a cliff and now we can get them sort of coming back, right? It takes time. It takes willingness and commitment from, you know, the patient always. But I think, you know, when it happens and when you take the time to really teach someone about why their body's doing what it's doing and what they can do every day to help it improve, that's what matters in the long run. So
yeah, that's great.